Hello guys, welcome to another edition of Story Behind the Stories. Today I'm going to be talking about Brenda and Arnie's story, and I really wanted to use this story and highlight love among the different topics that I was covering with the different stories. So I went to them because not only they're a very old couple, but I thought that they must have had a very full and very rich experience growing old together as a couple. So I was able to meet with them and they shared their story with me, which was very, very moving. How challenging things were for them in order to get to the beautiful place in which they are. They allowed me to share everything that they shared with me, so I'm going to go ahead and share most of it in a nutshell. Both of them came from broken marriages before they met, and so there was a lot of brokenness in each of their hearts, many scars in each other's backgrounds, and all the way from them growing and healing out of that to come and meet each other in a place in which there was still a lot of healing going on, there was still a process going on, and them getting into that process of healing together and going to the place where they are today. It is amazing. They have so much to teach as far as on the relationship and just love as a topic overall. But one of the things that they highlighted was just how the component of commitment was important in love, besides just the feelings and just the emotions of it. Actually, there's a very mind-boggling thing that they shared with me, and they said that they've never been into a heated argument. I couldn't believe it because I thought it's impossible to be with someone and not get into a heated argument from time to time, like almost getting angry and things like that. But he said no. We just made it a point in our relationship and the way in which we will address things, the way in which we treat each other, and that is something that we made a point to keep away from our conversation and the way in which we interact. So much of the success and the happiness in their relationship that depended not just on all the romantic aspect of relationship, but on the conscious and mutual commitments that they each made to one another, of how they were going to treat each other, how they were going to love each other, how they were going to be for each other. And the strength to carry that out is what established the strong relationship that they had. One of the elements that I decided to focus on for the video was the difference between that real kind of love that is an ongoing decision of actively loving the person versus the fairy tale kind of story about love that we have in our main culture and just our thinking. I really want to establish a contrast between the two. And so in the video, you can see it start with me and Alyssa and me completely being in love, head over heels over her the minute I see her, that love at first sight, and just going after her because, oh my goodness, she's the girl of my dreams. I want to be with her, I want to dance with her, I want to love on her. And there's this very quick development of a love story that happens, and then really quick it starts crumbling down, both in the songs, both in the choreography. There's the development of the video overall. It starts crumbling down really quick. And at the end, basically, there's an element of them being teared apart and the relationship stopping. There's actually many layers of messages, but one of them is how that love or that feeling and emotion that you feel at first is only one, not an important component of a real successful relationship, but it's only one of the components. That's not all it takes. And a relationship with just that as the foundation and as the only thing that drives it is bound to fail. And I really wanted to show in the video that any relationship can start in that way, but if there is not that commitment, that strong investment of each of the individuals in it to carry it out, like Brenda and Arnie shared with me, it's bound to fail. And at one point, there's the teddy bear picture that comes in, kind of to represent the contrast between that beautiful and fairy tale kind of love story that we have image, and then the camera switches to the reality of it, just how difficult things are, how hard it is to work through a relationship, how hard it is to bond with someone, to be vulnerable with someone, and kind of put those two constantly throughout the whole video. It happens over and over, a contrast between this, oh my gosh, I'm in love, and then the reality, the toughness of it. And many times a lot of people get into it with all this expectation of how it should look like, and when it's not the same, it just breaks down. And so the whole video is a constant contrast between the two, over and over and over again, and at the end is very well put out by the teddy bears and then the other image on another bench, and of a real couple and just the reality and the toughness of it. The message though is not a depressing one. Of course, it's not that to give up and that relationships are just bound to fail, but it's just to invite people to want more than that, to strive for more, because the relationships like Arnie and Brenda that are successful, in which they're married for decades and growing all together and still each other's best friend, still like to do things together, still are fully in love with one another with their heart, there is a lot of personal commitment that goes way beyond the feelings that go into it. And so for anyone who watches this video who is either in a relationship or not in a relationship, I just want you to use this video. I really don't want you to look at it as the depressing thing, because that's not the goal at all. The goal was just to show that contrast. But the message that I want you to get from it is that it's possible to have a very lasting, long and strong relationship, because we live in this society in which relationships are meant to not last that long. Relationships are just for fun. Divorces happen all the time. But first I wanted to give an example with Brenda and Arnie of relationship that can go through that. It's possible to build a strong, established relationship that withstands through time, through challenges. But on the other flip side of that, it takes work. Just like anything we build, if you want to build a beautiful house, it takes work. If you want to build a beautiful career, it takes work. If you want to write a beautiful essay, a paper, it takes work. In the same exact way, a beautiful, strong relationship, beyond those feelings, beyond the excitement, it does take work. And Arnie and Brenda amazed me with the practical advice that they had regarding how to implement that, how to use that in an ongoing daily basis. It was just beautiful. As far as what I have to say about this video, that is all I have. If you have any question, any comments, please feel free to write them in the box below. And if you have anything at all that you want to say regarding this specific topic, please write it down. Thank you so much for following everything that JY is doing. Stay tuned, because there's a lot more coming. But until then, thank you, and stay tuned for more Story Behind the Stories video series.